Hello everyone, welcome to ThemeIsle. In this video, we're going to be comparing the three titans of the WordPress LMS industry: LearnDash, Tutor LMS, and Lifter LMS. We'll quickly go over each one of these plugins so that you can figure out which one is the best for your e-learning website. So let's get started, but before we do, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter. Alright, so first let's get started with the first impressions of each one of these plugins, starting off with LearnDash. So with LearnDash, it was a bit of a mixed first impressions. I mean, the setup wizard is pretty nice, it gets you started quickly, but while I was testing out, a few things didn't quite seem right. The UI was not all that consistent. While I was testing, PayPal just did not want to set up. And what I think is that the user experience is a bit rough. I mean, the UI feels a little bit outdated, and it is definitely not beginner friendly, though it does have a long-standing history, so I can see why veterans who have been creating websites for a long time would opt for LearnDash. But my first impression of the plugin, if you're someone who is new, someone who is a beginner trying to create an e-learning website for yourself, LearnDash might not be the plugin for you. Now let's jump into Tutor LMS. Now Tutor LMS definitely made a strong first impression. It has a very easy setup wizard, which guides you through the basics smoothly. And as soon as you're done with it, you can have your course up and running without much effort. Now, in comparison to LearnDash, Tutor LMS has a better UI. It is very modern. It is snappy quick because it is React based, and everything just works right out the box. And if you are a beginner, I can definitely recommend this plugin to you. Now, the only one problem that I kind of faced while I was testing out the plugin is that I ran into a critical error. Now, while that could be environment specific, it might raise some concerns. Overall, Tutor LMS is very beginner friendly, and I really enjoyed the experience. Now let's jump into Lifter LMS. So Lifter LMS, it was kind of mixed as well. I mean, it's definitely functional, but it's not smooth. Like for example, while I was using the plugin, I felt that there was a lot of back and forth between the course builder, the course page, and then you were kind of creating individual lessons. So the user experience there felt a bit fragmented, a little bit clunky. Now on the plus side, as soon as I installed the free version of the plugin, I did feel like there was a lot of options, which is great if you're looking for flexibility and control. So that was pretty good. But yeah, same as LearnDash, the UI feels a little bit old, kind of outdated, not particularly fresh. I'll be honest, when I first used the plugin, it did not invoke that sort of confidence in me. So yeah, in short, Lifter LMS, it is better suited for users who are okay with a slightly more hands-on experience. But yeah, you gotta keep one thing in mind. LearnDash and Lifter LMS are really old plugins. They've been around for a while, so it makes sense that they feel a little bit old. I mean, they are pretty old plugin, but when I say they're old, I don't mean they're not being updated. They are regularly being updated. But yeah, the UI, not to my liking. If you're someone who really likes WordPress interface, then you might enjoy the plugins, but personally I didn't. Now, even before we jump into the features, let's jump into their pricing. And I think pricing is going to be super important here because we're comparing LearnDash against Tutor LMS and Lifter LMS, and both Tutor and Lifter have a free version. They are a freemium product, while LearnDash is a 100% premium product. So now let's jump into the pricing structure of each one of these. So LearnDash, it doesn't offer a free version, so you're gonna have to start paying from day one. Now their pricing structure is something like this. If you are purchasing it for a single site, it's gonna cost you around $200 a year, $199 to be exact. If you are like an agency, you want to get it for multiple different sites, for 10 websites, it's going to cost you $399 per year. And if you're creating more than 10 sites using LearnDash, then you're going to have to get their unlimited tier, which is $799 a year. While I will be talking about features later on specifically, you got to realize one thing when you are getting LearnDash, and that is on top of the base version of the plugin, which costs you like $199 a year if you're buying it for a single site. If you want more add-ons, then those are extra, and we'll talk about it later. So now let's jump into Tutor LMS. As I said before, Tutor LMS provides a free version as well. Now, having a free version is really good. You can test the plugin. You don't have to commit to it. You can just test it out, and if you like it, you can buy the premium version if needed. So yeah, it's pretty good. And actually, not just that, you can start selling your own online course with the free version, and once you start making some revenue, you can then upgrade to the premium version as well. So you've got that flexibility as well. But yeah, for Tutor LMS, a single site license, it's going to cost you $199 per year, 10 sites $399 per year, and unlimited sites, it's $799 a year. So the pricing is very identical to LearnDash. But yeah, there's two things that give Tutor LMS a bit of an edge, and that is going to be that they have a free version, and on top of that, if you just upgrade to their premium version, you don't have to get extra add-ons. While LearnDash has extra add-ons, but you don't have to pay any more than whatever the pricing is right now for a single site, 10 sites, or unlimited sites. Now let's jump into Lifter LMS. Lifter LMS, it takes a very modular approach as well. It has a free core plugin, of course, and on top of that it has bundled upgrades, or you can also buy upgrades separately, but we'll talk about that in just a bit. There's a bit of a caveat there. So as I said before, the free version is free. You don't have to pay anything for it. Now, if you're going to purchase Lifter LMS for a single site, which comes with e-commerce add-ons, yeah, you don't get every single thing that they're providing within the premium version if you get the one site license, and yeah, it costs you about $149.50 per year. Now, if you bump that up, if you want to get a higher tier plan with 5 sites and 10 more add-ons, and you can check out their pricing page for what add-ons are there within each one of the bundles. Yeah, the 5 site license, it's going to cost you $249.50 per year. And finally, if you want to go all out, unlimited sites and all the features that Lifter LMS has to provide, then that's going to cost you $749.50 per year. Now, if you're just comparing the price as per the site count, then Lifter LMS is kind of winning at $149.50, and after that it's $249, and finally it's $749.50. And remember how I was talking about Lifter LMS having pro add-ons? They have pro add-ons for like Stripe, PayPal, advanced quizzes, etc., etc. And I think they're trying to move away from that sort of pricing structure, and they instead shifted to bundles, and bundles is the same thing that I just talked about, which, you know, obviously bundles up all the features and ultimately provides you a better value. And we'll talk about the features that you're getting in just a bit. But in terms of pricing, they all are arranged very similarly to obviously remain more competitive. But yeah, now we're gonna dive into the core features and their add-ons. So starting off with LearnDash, let's first talk about the core plugin, like just the plugin that you're gonna get when you pay for the plugin, like the main subscription, right? So, you know, obviously you can create courses, you can create unlimited courses, and on top of that, your courses can have quizzes. So within quizzes, you can have 8 different quiz question types, which is very solid. And on top of that, something that LearnDash kind of gives that is unique is challenge exams, which I didn't quite find in the other plugins, though there might be a way to implement it. They don't have the said feature, so to speak. After that, you get assignments, and coupons is also inbuilt, which I quite liked. Now let's talk about free add-ons. Now, free add-ons, they could be considered a part of the core, like the core plugin. So they are free, so you're gonna have to install it and you can use it, but yeah. Free add-ons, there are some free useful tools like, you know, certificate builder. You know, they do have a certificate builder in the core, but yeah, it seems it was very old, so instead they introduced this new certificate builder that is Gutenberg based. So you get that for free. I'm assuming they introduced this to be a little bit more competitive. You get email notifications for free, and you also get a migration tool so that you can migrate from other LMS platforms to LearnDash. Pretty solid, not bad. Now let's jump into the paid add-ons. So remember how I told you you're gonna have to pay for the base plugin, which is the pricing structure that I told you about before. Well, now you're gonna have to jump into paid add-ons, which cost somewhere from $49 all the way up to $99 on top of the base price for the plugin, the core plugin. So paid add-ons, you get features like group courses. So basically you can create different cohorts and they can have their courses. You also get front-end course creation, which is pretty neat. So if you're someone who is creating a website for others, then you can enable this front-end course creation add-on, so you can let users create courses from the front end without giving them the access to WordPress backend, which is pretty neat. And there's other features like Notes and Gradebook. Notes is going to be very helpful for learners that are learning courses and they want to note things down. Gradebook as well, a pretty solid feature that helps with grading of students. And yeah, on top of that, you also get a lot of other features. I would urge you to check out their pricing pages, their feature pages. All of them will be linked down in the description below. You can check it out and you can nitpick exactly which features you're looking for each one of these plugins. So yeah, that is the core features and add-ons for LearnDash. Now let's jump into Tutor LMS. For Tutor LMS, it's going to be a little bit different. Tutor LMS, since it provides a free version, we're going to jump into that first. Now, Tutor LMS's free version, it includes a very solid set of features, so you can get your site up and running and you can quickly just start selling your course with the free version. So within the free version, obviously you can create unlimited courses with unlimited lessons. And for quizzes, you can have 4 quiz question types, which if you're going to get the premium version, then it's going to be bumped up to 8 question types. So yeah, just letting you know. Besides that, in the free version, it also gives you coupon support, which is really neat. There's also a minimal support for Gutenberg blocks to customize your course pages, which I really liked. Now, obviously, I would have liked it more if I was able to customize the entire course page just using blocks, but oh well, I'll take whatever it gives in the free version. And also in the free version, you also get WooCommerce integration support, but we'll talk about that later. I have a different payment section coming right after this. So yeah, we're gonna hold off on those for a while. But now, if we were to jump into the pro version of Tutor LMS plugin, then First of all, as I said before, the quiz type, it's going to be bumped up to 8 question types for your quizzes, which is pretty solid. Now you'll access other advanced features like content drip so that you can control the visibility of the courses from when the user enrolls into the course. It also allows for subscription-based access, and on top of that, there is also social login, which is an amazing feature. So basically, if your users have a Google account, a Facebook account, or a Twitter account, they can use those accounts to log into your site. Pretty solid stuff. It is unique to Tutor LMS, so I really like that feature. And on top of that, you can have revenue sharing. So if you want to create a website like Udemy, then you can use the revenue sharing feature to split revenue. Now finally, after that, if you want to create certified courses, then you can give your students certificates using their certificate builder, which, might I add, they have a very smooth certificate builder. It's one of the best out there. Now sadly, they don't give certificate builder in the free version, though if you are looking for some sort of certificate builder in the free version, then the plugin Masteriyo LMS does have this feature. I'm just letting you know in case you're looking for it, because a lot of people have been asking me this question, so just letting you know. Now, in the Tutor LMS Pro version, you also get to create courses from the front end, so that's pretty good. And finally, it comes with a whole bunch of other features that all these plugins have, kind of like, notes, gradebook, and memberships. There's many. So yes, I urge you to check the pricing page for the plugins. Now let's jump into Lifter LMS. Lifter LMS, it offers a surprisingly capable free core plugin, but it does have a few notable limitations. Now in the Lifter LMS's free version, you get, unlimited courses, unlimited lessons, all that. On top of it, for quizzes, you get 4 question types. And if you were to get the premium version, it gets expanded to about 11 question types, which is the biggest number here. We have 4 question types. Surprisingly, they actually have content drip in the free version, which I really liked. They also have course prerequisites in the free version, which basically helps control users' progression among different courses. So if you want to make it so users only have access to course B if they have done course A, then prerequisites will basically help you set up that sort of logic. Now, something that is very interesting that Lifter has is gamification. It has inbuilt gamification, while other plugins, they require some sort of third-party plugin to achieve gamification. Gamification, if you don't know what that is, basically whenever users do something, like if they finish a course, if they give out reviews, then you can give them achievements, you can give them badges, like that sort of stuff. They actually have it inbuilt, and it is available in the free version, which is pretty good. Now, this plugin is not just your basic LMS, like it doesn't just control learning management, it also gives you memberships. So if you are like a content creator who wants to create like a membership kind of site alongside courses, then Lifter LMS does have that feature in the free version. So yeah, you can check it out. Now in the free version, the plugin does give you a Gutenberg certificate builder, but there's a caveat to it. If you are using their free version, you don't get any sort of payment integrations. Like you don't get any sort of payment gateways. You're gonna have to rely on offline payment, which is kind of a bummer. Now, if you were creating free courses, I think it wouldn't be that big of a problem for you. But if you're creating paid courses, then you're gonna have to rely on manual payments, which can be kind of a hassle. So yes, at that point, you're gonna have to get their premium version or their pro add-ons or their bundle, which we'll get to that in just a bit. So just like I said for LearnDash, how they have this sort of core plugin, and on top of that, you have to buy add-ons for various different things. I think at one point, Lifter was trying to do something similar, like they were trying to have a core plugin, and on top of that, they were trying to sell the add-ons. But maybe later on, they kind of changed stuffs around. So now they have bundles. They've got 4 different bundles, or 3 different bundles, my bad. Infinity Bundle, Universe, and Earth Bundle. And all these bundles, they basically contain all the add-ons that they were selling before. Now you do have the flexibility to use their free version, and you can just get individual add-ons. Like if you want add-ons for coupons, quizzes, etc., then you can buy those individually, but they're priced a little bit too high, where at that point you're just better off buying one of their bundles. So yeah, I think they're trying to move away from the modular approach where you can just buy individual add-ons. So instead of that, they're trying to get you to buy bundles, which, I mean, they're free to do so. But yes, for this video, I'm going to specifically talk about their 3 bundles. So yes, if you upgrade to their lowest tier Earth bundle, with that you get e-commerce add-ons like Stripe, PayPal, WooCommerce, etc. And that is it. Now, if you upgrade to their Universe bundle, you do get the e-commerce add-ons, right? And after that, you get email marketing and CRM add-ons. You also have form integration add-ons. And finally, there's also something called the weekly mastermind and private Facebook group, which I don't know how much you would value it, but yeah, they do have it. And on top of that, while the Earth bundle was just for a single site, the Universe bundle is for 5 sites. And after that, they have the Infinity bundle, which gives you everything. And what is everything? Well, I'm glad you asked. Well, everything basically means 11 plus question types for your quizzes, and you get assignment. You also get private one-on-one coaching kind of feature. There is advanced reporting and analytics. There's something called course cohorts. You can have custom fields in there, like within your courses page. There's groups, notes, PDFs, the same thing that a lot of other plugins are giving. Besides that, something that it is doing that is kind of new or unique to Lifter LMS would be their private coaching or their private areas and private learning kind of experience for users that are paying you a little bit more, I suppose. And yes, and just like I said before, membership seems to be their forte as well, alongside creating a robust course. But yeah, besides that, speaking of unique, they're also doing the private Facebook group and the weekly mastermind thing. So I suppose it is a group of, like-minded individuals that are selling courses to help you upskill yourself in your course creation journey. So yeah, pretty good, I suppose. Kind of complex, but I think they are still moving some things around, so the pricing might change. So yeah, this is also a disclaimer, I suppose. Whenever I'm making this video, their pricing might have changed. So make sure you check out their pages. All the links will be down in the description below for each one of these plugins. So yes, now I kept the best one for the last, and that's going to be payment options, because I have worked with a lot of creators who create online courses. And yeah, payment options is something that's very important. So yeah, we're going to talk about payment options for each one of these plugins. If you were to sell premium courses, then what is it going to be like? Well, let's jump into LearnDash. Obviously, they don't have a free version, so once you get the Pro, the things that you get is, first of all, offline payment. That's going to be there, right? On top of that, you get WooCommerce integration, which you can use to integrate basically any sort of payment processor out there, because WooCommerce is massive. And then you get Stripe, PayPal, Razorpay, and something called ToCheckout. I've never heard of it, but yeah, it also has support for ToCheckout. Now, that's about it for LearnDash. Within Tutor LMS, it has a lot of things. So obviously, in the free version, you get offline payment. And on top of that, you also get WooCommerce integration for free, and you can also get PayPal. Now, WooCommerce integration, you can use it to connect to basically a lot of other payment platforms, but the WooCommerce integration can be a little bit tough. If you are someone who is not all that techie, you don't know much about WooCommerce, then I would not recommend relying on WooCommerce integration for any of these plugins. But yeah, you can always learn, so that's there. And if you want to learn, then you can always check out my videos, right? Anyways, now if you jump into their premium version, then you get things like Paid Memberships Pro, easy digital downloads. There is Stripe, Paddle, Authorize.net, Paystack, Molly, Klarna, Alipay, Razorpay, ToCheckout. There's like a lot. So if you upgrade to their premium version, you get 11 more payment integrations, and in total you get around 14 payment integrations, which is honestly awesome. And I think what they've done here is they have selected payment processors as per the geography, like I think Razorpay is well suited for India, there is Mali, there's Paystack. I think these are well suited payment processors that I haven't really heard of, but from what I saw, they are for different places, like for different other geographical territories like Africa, etc., etc. So this is actually pretty good. Now finally, if we jump into Lifter LMS, just like I said before, in the free version, you just get offline payment. And after that, when you upgrade to the Pro version, whichever bundle, it could be the Earth bundle and whatever bundle there is, like the lowest tier bundle, it starts from there. You'll get WooCommerce, Stripe, Authorize.net, and PayPal. So yes, just 4 payment processors when you upgrade to the premium version. Not that bad, but also not the best, like, especially for users that are spread across various different parts of the world. Like for me as well, in my country, PayPal does not work, neither does Authorize.net. Stripe doesn't work here either, so I'm gonna have to rely on WooCommerce integrations, but I think they could add support for a lot of other payment gateways as well. Now, all these plugins, they do support offline payment, but I feel like all of their offline payment is kind of half-baked. So basically, offline payment is you'll put in an order for a course, and then the website owner, which I'm assuming that's going to be you will receive an order, right, in the backend or in the email. And after that, basically within offline payment, you're going to have to manually talk to the user. You're going to have to ask them to send you a payment invoice, like a screenshot. And after that, you can verify that screenshot, and then you can give them the course access. Kind of a hassle. Now, one thing that I would have liked each one of these plugins to have is like a file upload field in the offline payment, like in the manual payment method, but none of these plugins have that. You're gonna have to rely on third-party plugins or the WooCommerce integration for that. But luckily, there is a plugin if you are someone who does not reside somewhere in the West, like United States, UK, Australia, etc., etc. Basically, if you cannot utilize stuffs like Authorize.net, Stripe, PayPal, then you can check out Masteriyo LMS plugin. Within the offline payment gateway or manual payment gateway, they also have a file upload field. So users, whenever they are trying to purchase your course, they can, give in an order, and while they're filling out the form, they can upload a screenshot off the payment, and it just makes things really easy for you. You can just, check out the order detail, you can check out the screenshot, and you can give them a course access right away. So this is pretty good as well. So yeah, highly recommended you check out Masteriyo LMS plugin as well. I'm comparing these 3 plugins in this video because this was highly searched about, highly asked about. So yeah, that's why I did not include that plugin here, but it's also a very worthy competitor. So now let's jump into the bottom line. Which plugin is for you? LearnDash, Tutor LMS, or Lifter? Well, now I'm going to give you a bottom line depending on what I felt after using the plugin, who is it best suited for. So LearnDash, in my opinion, it is not for solo course creators. At least I wouldn't recommend it to them. There's just too much hassle. First of all is the lack of a free plan and needing to set up quite a lot of things to get started. I would say it is a better fit for agencies who kind of specialize in creating LMS websites for other people, other companies, like for corporate training, etc. Then they can customize a lot of things. Like, it is very developer friendly from what I've heard from some of my development friends out there, or my developer friends, my bad. And it will certainly help you give a better experience to your users, like a very custom experience compared to plugins like Tutor LMS. So yeah, it turns out that light turned off. So I just turned it back on once again. Anywho, we're almost at the end of the video, but let's not worry about it too much. Now let's jump into Tutor LMS. Who is it for? In my opinion, Tutor LMS is best suited for someone like a solo course creator. If you're trying to sell online courses, you don't know much about web development, you just want to focus on creating an awesome course for your users, then Tutor LMS is for you. I can highly recommend it. First of all, the presence of a free version which you can use to start selling your online course, amazing. And on top of that, you just have to buy a single premium version, which is awesome. You don't have to pay anything more than that. And you get access to all the premium features. It is amazing as well. Oh, and I think this is something that I kind of forgot to talk about, but yeah, Tutor LMS has this thing called AI Studio. Using AI, you can basically create an online course. Now, I personally don't quite like the idea of that. If you're someone who is an educator trying to create an online course for students, then I believe AI should not be used in course creation. But I could be wrong, and that's obviously just my opinion. But it also has that sort of feature in the premium version. But yeah, with Tutor LMS, you just have to worry about creating your online course without the hassle of, spending a lot of time worrying about a lot of things. It does everything for you. And also, something that's unique to them is their, kind of like the marketplace-ish feature for revenue sharing, etc. It is great if you're trying to create sites like Udemy and Skillshare, where you want to get a whole bunch of other creators in as well. So yeah, pretty good. Now, who is Lifter LMS for? Lifter LMS isn't quite like other LMS plugins. I'm not a big fan of the UI, but they do offer more flexibility. And while other LMSs are a great fit if you are just trying to sell online courses, Lifter LMS is great if you are someone like a content creator who's trying to create something like a membership site where you won't just have people interacting, but you will also sell online course as a part of it. Then it is awesome. Yeah, basically, if you want to create a community site that expands beyond just courses, then Lifter LMS is great. Their entire feature lineup is awesome. It tries to give you a more consistent user experience, so to speak, without having to rely on a lot of other integrations to other plugins. So yeah, if you are like a content creator trying to create any sort of community site, then Lifter LMS is a great fit for you. Alright guys, in this video I brought up the Masteriyo LMS plugin a couple of times, and full transparency here, it is a plugin that our team is currently developing. It is a newer React-based WordPress LMS. It is not just faster, but it has everything that a course creator or an e-learning site creator would need. Not just that, it is also a freemium solution, and the free version has no restriction to selling whatsoever. You can use the free version of Masteriyo LMS plugin and you can start selling your online course without spending a single penny. And also, as a vote of confidence, I myself have used this plugin to create 3 such e-learning sites, like actual e-learning sites, that are actively earning for their creators. So I can vouch for this plugin. Check it out now in the links down in the description below. So there it is. That is my breakdown of 3 of the titans of the WordPress LMS community. Let me know what you thought about this video. And I suppose that's about it. But before we leave, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter, links down below, and all the other helpful links will be down in the description below as well. I am Sid, and I'll see you whenever I'll see you. Take care.